Hi, my name is Jada Lamelli, and I'm going to be talking about a community most security guards, old people, and Karens usually despise. And this is the community known as skaters, a sport that is loved and shared by a variety of different style skateboarders. As time went on, people get more and more creative with how they skate and what tricks they can do, but as someone who's been in the skating scene for a couple of years, I can say that there are no boundaries when it comes to skateboarding. But with the Olympics bringing eyes to the sport last year, there's never been more traction to join the community. Every skater's board has its own story to tell, which is why I'm going to be talking about mine today. This is my skateboard. It's a primitive deck with grizzly grip tape, and it's just been mine. It has some scratches. It's just very torn up. But that just brings more to the story. But before I talk about any of that, I'm going to be talking about the different styles and types of the sport in general. So let's get right to the main parts about this culture, such as flat ground, transition, rail, street, stair, and vert skaters. There's plenty to go around. Flat ground skaters is the most simple out of all the styles because it's just doing tricks on a flat surface, while rails and stairs fall under the subgenre of street skating. They are very alike in style, but street skating uses more ledges, stairs, rails, and it brings more practice into the sport. It's usually found in public buildings depending on the spots, but they usually just scope out every street and just find a random spot that doesn't even look like it could be skatable, but they somehow do it. The next one is vert and transition skating, which are kind of similar because they both use ramps, but vert skating is more like the S games where they have big ramps and they do big jumps and they just do big tricks. While transition skating is mainly just going around the park where there's bowls or just ramps or just riding around smoothly in rampable areas or anything type like that. I've only been into street skating, but knowing how many kinds of styles there really opens your eyes to the variety of things you can really learn in the community. Overall, the possibilities are endless in this culture, and this is what makes it so fun because you can learn different tricks and different styles. You can even learn from people who are better than you or people who suck but can do different types of tricks. So it really just a variety of people who can teach you whatever. But now, let's talk about the one thing that connects them all. My skateboard is very important to me because I've never been into playing sports, but skating is the one thing that has really intrigued me, which is the most physical thing. Evidence is that I've mostly been into street skating because of how creative people can get with the spots they find. Even watching pros do giant stair sets and insane stuff like sliding down a rail of a 10 stair or making legendary spots just look so easy is just something fun because you can imagine yourself doing that in the future when you get good enough. The culture is very welcoming to beginners, and some may even give you tips on how to do the tricks, although some may call you a poser because they don't understand that beginners are just beginners learning tricks. They don't know the difference between the beginners and who's really faking to be a skateboarder. It really brings the community together because everyone wants to get better though. Anyone can learn to skate. Some people may not be able to because they're not as welcoming, but most people in the community will help you along the way. But to recap, the skate culture is pretty open community with much to learn and offer for everyone. Now that I've gone over the topics that are important to me, I'll wrap things up. In conclusion, I picked my skateboard to represent my love for the culture, and I talk about the different styles and there are and how much there is to offer in the hobby. With the Olympics showing off skateboarding last year, there's never been more eyes on the culture till now. My call to action to you is just to look at some of the different styles, pros, boards, and maybe give it a try. It doesn't have to be an expensive board, or it could be one that's like from Walmart. It just depends on what you want to do because it's just a fun sport, whether you just like cruising around or anything or doing tricks. Whatever you're interested in, I'm sure you can find a way. I know that it's not for everyone, but it could be an escape for others. My name is Jaden Lamelli, and this has been my speech.